All right. Now, you guys know I come from a commercial color grading background, and I can tell you one thing right now that pretty much 99.9% of the jobs that I work on, this is the look that they ask for. Even if they don't know what it's called, it's the clean white look where you keep everything else in the environment super crisp and then you pop a few colors, whatever is the focal point. Okay. So to get started, first node is going to be noise reduction. Then I'm going to have my primaries where I'm going to do some exposure correction. Then we're going to move on to balancing our image. And then right after that, I'm going to do a look. So this is where we're going to create the clean white. And then after that, I'm going to have a parallel node for the skin tones. Then I'm going to have another parallel for the pants because this is the eBay commercial. So the focus is on the apparel. Then I'm going to have another one for the sky for the highlights. And then we're going to move on. I'm going to have a node for my look adjustment. Just if you want to give it a look or do something fun with it or balance everything out after making all these changes in these nodes. Then we're going to move on to creating a vignette to pop our girl out from the background. Then I'm going to do a global adjustment where, we're just going to get experimental a little bit. And then we're going to do our sharpening and finish it off with some grain. Okay, so this is the node tree structure. Let's get going. So this node right here, I'm going to start giving it contrast. So again, I'm going to start with the contrast down here. So let's go. And since this is a fashion commercial, I don't want to crush anything too much. So I'm just going to leave it somewhere around here. This is looking good. Then I'm going to go into my gamma and I'm going to raise it up because we really want to fill up the room. And then I'm going to bring my gain down just a little bit so we can see the detail outside the window. I'm going to bring my gamma up more. Like I said, I'm just filling in the room, like all these areas right there. So something like that is looking pretty good. This is nice. I'm just going to leave that there for now. Then I'm going to move to this node. And this is where we're going to start giving it some saturation. And I just really want to crank it because I want this whole scene to be super poppy. So I'm going to leave it at 100. I'm leaving it at 100. That's totally fine. So now let's balance it out because we can see where the balance is off. And I'm going to start with my gamma because this is the problem child right here. If we fix that, everything else is going to fall into place. So let's get going. Okay, so now if I look at my gamma before and after, like we did quite a bit there and it's looking really nice. And even the highlights and everything is looking nice. I can definitely see that there is more green in the shadows because just look at the undertone. So before we even get to that, let's just give the blacks are too lifted. So I'm going to go in my log wheels. I'm going to pull this down a little bit, okay? And then once I pull it down, what I want to do is I want to control which parts of the shadows are being affected. I just want to affect these areas and not necessarily her hair or anything like that. So I'm going to go in and control it by my low range. So I'm going to lift, see, I'm just lifting it off her hair and putting it right there. So it does make a huge difference and I'm going to leave that there. And I feel like, you know what, for now, one more thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go right here in my primaries bars. I'm going to turn my Luma mix off. And now what I want to do is adjust a few parameters here to see if we can get it more dialed in. And I'm going to start off with my gamma. I'm going to pull some of the green out in these areas by adding magenta. So even just a slight touch like that did that nicely. And now I'm just going to give it a little bit more blue in this area, pull it down a little bit, something like that. And then I'm going to pull some of the red out. So keep it somewhere around here. I mean, just look at how nice that's looking. So just look at the scopes right here, the waveform, where we started, where we ended up. It's looking really nice. And this is a good start. So I'm just going to leave the rest as is for now. And we're off to a pretty decent start. Let's move on to this guy now. This is where the magic happens. So I'm going to go in here in my primaries wheels. I'm going to take my gain. I'm going to bring it down to about 85-ish. And then I'm going to go in here and raise just my Luma channel back to 100. There you go. So now if I do before and after, look at how much cleaner the image is. And you can see it, how it's taking the sting off. Like, look at the shirt. Look at this area right here. And then look at the background. is just taking the dinge off a little bit, okay? It's cleaning it up quite a bit. I mean, even if you look at the teapot right there, what it's doing to it. So it's doing a lot of stuff here, but we're not done yet. I'm going to go into my color boost and I'm going to crank it down to about, basically, I'm just looking at my shot and where the whites are looking super clean. We can see that right here. Like, look at my whites. Now, if I do before and after, like, look how much of a difference it made. So this is the clean white look. Now, don't worry about the skin or what's happening to these colors that we want to pop. Because again, it's an eBay commercial. This is the emphasis. This is the emphasis. The jeans is the emphasis. These are the things that are the emphasis. So we're going to bring that out. So I'm going to go back in here. And now I'm going to say, hey, go to my color presets, grab my reds. Okay. So this is very nicely going to grab my skin, grab everything that's red in this frame, and just watch what happens. I'm going to take my gamma and gain at the same time, and I'm going to start moving it until I have enough juice in my skin. Look at how nicely it's working. Somewhere around here, I'm very happy. Look at this. Everything is looking very good. If I do before and after, just look at that. We can even just be a bit extreme with it, and let's see what happens if I just push it. Even something like that. So now if I just take these two and turn them on and off, just look at this. Just look at how it was gunky here, and look how much it cleaned up and then gave us the color where we want it. Like, just look at the back, like how there is all these colors right here. And then look, crisp. Like, look at right here, all these colors, crisp. So that's the clean white look. We're not even finished. We're just getting started. Now here, I'm going to grab the jeans and then I'm going to start affecting it. And I'm going to do it the same way. So I'm going to go under my presets. I'm going to say, hey, grab blue. And now it's going to grab the jeans, okay? And now I'm going to go in and just take my gamma and gain and start taking it towards blue. And just look at the difference. So we're putting a good amount of emphasis on it. And now it's also affecting this area right here, which I don't want to affect. So that's super easy. I'm just going to go under my windows. I'm going to do a gradient and I'm going to say, just affect this and nothing else. Don't affect that. So I'm going to restrict it. And now if we do a full key from start to finish, we're going to see that it's only affecting her, and that's it. And it's just really nice. Like, we're just popping it ever so slightly. See, we're just putting some color in there, and that's all I wanted. Okay. So now what I want to do is in here, I want to control my highlighted areas. Okay. So I'm going to go in here in my qualifier. And since this is Alexa 12-bit image shot in ProRes 444, we got tons of range. I'm going to keep the softness around 8.9-ish. And then I'm going to go and start grabbing just the top end. Like this. And then I'm going to go into my highlights right here. And I'm going to type in -35. Okay. Now it brings this down, which is fine for now. If we have to control it, we will control it. Actually, let's do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. I'm going to create a gradient. I'm going to put it right here. And then I'm going to say, hey, I'm even going to do this. I'm going to say just affect this. And then when we play it through, it's only affecting this area, nothing else. Now, if I do before and after, you can see that, right? And that's done very nicely. Now, one thing that we can do with it is I can go into my gain and start giving it some color. So I can say, like, even something like this, you know, it just gives it a really nice color and it just separates everything else. So if I just take these 4 nodes right here and turn them on and off, just look at the difference that we've made. Like, this is huge. So we're on the right path. Now I'm going to skip my look adjustment node and I'm just going to move into my vignette, and let's create that. So I'm going to grab it like this, tilt it around quite a bit, and then let's give it some softness, maybe something like that. And now let's go ahead and pop her out. So I'm going to go under my curves. I'm going to make sure that editable splines is checked on. I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to start raising that. And I really want to like pop her out because this is a fashion commercial. So I really do want to pop her out. So I mean, this is looking really nice. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to see if I just like pop the entire image out just a little bit. Because if I pop the entire image out, then I can go back in here and pull her down a little bit. So now if I grab these two, if I grab these two and turn them on and off, just look at how much pop we have, yet everything is under control. Nothing is going out of whack, okay? And then this one, instead of adding sharpening, I'm going to show you something really cool. I'm going to go in my midtones, midtone detail, and I'm going to pull it back to give it sort of like this dreamy look. We're not going to go too far with it. We're going to try to keep it realistic. But if I just put it at 20, just look how everything kind of just like softens up. And if I just go close and like show you before and after, like look how there's a little blooming effect that's happening and everything just blends in. Like even look at right here. So it has that really cool dreamy look. And then in here, I'm going to add grain, but this time I'm not going to push it too far. The point of the grain here is just to give it some character and give it some weight. So it looks like it's shot on film and it looks really cool, but nothing too crazy. So I'm just going to go in here, give it some size. And then if I look at it before and after, just look at it, right? I'm going to punch in so you guys can see. It just adds a tiny bit of character and that's about it. And now if I just play it back. Now, one thing that we can do to clean up this image a little bit more is add a noise reduction because it always helps. Like, and the type of noise reduction that I add is just so little that it will never degrade your image. It will just add the right amount to just take any blotchiness out or any artifact that you might have going on. And it just cleans all that up. And guys, this is our clean white. Let's go through it step by step where we started to where we ended up. Let's go. Okay. This was our log image. This is our exposure setup. So we did our exposure first. Then we went in and balanced our image out. This was the sauce about the clean white, which took the dinge out of the clip. And then we started isolating our elements. But this isolation is so cool that you can apply it from shot to shot. This is not something that you have to adjust, fiddle with. And that's why I went through Resolve's own preset 6-vector. So this is a pro tip right there. Then I grabbed her jeans and just added a little bit more life into it. And then finally, we brought the outside out and just gave it tons of personality just to have another color into the image. And then we went ahead and popped our subject out because she is the hero in this frame. And then I brought up everything else just to make it lively, give it a fun, poppy feel because it's a fashion commercial. And then finally, in here, I showed you a really cool technique. Instead of adding sharpening in this image, I went ahead and added this glow effect, but it's not an OFX, glow OFX. It's an actual mid-tone detail that just does a really cool thing. Like it softens everything up without making it look cheesy and puts us more in this dreamland that we want to be in. And then we added some grain to add an extra character. And then finally, I added some noise reduction to just get rid of any blotchiness that might happen that is hard to see right now, even if we punch in. So this is going to take care of that. Actually, you know what? Let me punch in here and see if I turn the noise reduction off, if you see something. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to turn this off. Then I'm going to go in here. And you see how much it's cleaning up? So now you can see that, right? So even right here, if I turn this off, this is the noise. this is the thing about the noise. It always sits in these crazy areas, right? So this is the noise. And then with our noise reduction, we made it so pristine. I mean, this is crazy. Like, look at, so you see all this noise? With the noise reduction, it took care of that. And then in here, we added grain, which gives it this film feel. And then when you pull out, this is the image we got. We started here. We ended up here. This is your clean white look. I'm telling you, this is the most profitable technique you can pick up from this training, because every commercial, wedding video, corporate video, whatever have you that you're working on, you create this look and people are going to go nuts.